Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be talking all things about Chanel and the upcoming collection for Winter Act 1. So this is going to be the 21B collection and it is expected to launch towards the very end of July. Before I dive into the video, if you are new to my channel and you do love all things luxury and you aren't already subscribed, I would love if you would hit that subscribe button below and also the bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. I try to upload middle of the week, but I'll always have a weekend upload. Right, for Winter Act 1. Now, I've done my very best to collate as much information as possible in terms of handbags and SLGs. So we aren't going to be doing fashion jewelry or shoes. So I'm going to do my very best to showcase what is expected to come for Winter Act 1. We're actually coming back with the Canvas Deauville. They will have some leather tote bags as well. So they are a seasonal tote bag. The one that I'm seeing here that I've never kind of seen them really do before, it's kind of like a flat quilted tote. So the quilts are flat and it's got Chanel written on it, and then the CC kind of looks like they've turned the bag inside out a bit. The print kind of looks like what you would see on the inside of like your classic flaps, like Chanel made in Italy, Chanel made in France. That's kind of the vibe I'm sort of getting from it. However, I can't really see up close the very fine detail of it. Just at a glance, that's sort of what I'm getting the impression of. But I'd like to hope that the detail is a lot more fine-tuned than just being a stamp on a bag. Staying on the theme of seasonal big bags, they are coming out with a backpack which looks like it might be in like a nylon or something. It kind of looks like it's in a fabric. I don't love it. I don't like it, I should say. Flat out, I don't like it. It kind of looks like a graffiti sort of style, the Chanel written all over it. In terms of seasonal shoulder bags, they also have some bags that are kind of like a bit of a tote shoulder bag style, and it's got like a front pocket on the front with the CC turn lock. I think that I've seen something like that done before. And color again is in that navy khaki green, and they're probably going to have a burgundy as well. So this collection I'm not really all that into. There's not really much of a color scheme that I'm really sort of vibing with. Like, I don't mind a khaki. I feel like khaki is a neutral, but I am pretty picky when it comes to sort of greens, and I'd have to really see that in person to know if that's the kind of the green that I would sort of go for. It looks like it is relatively neutral khaki. But yeah, I'm not totally in love. I'll just have to wait and see. So they do have, again, like a seasonal flat bag, which I think they had something like this in 21A as well. It's got quite a chunky sort of chain to it. It's a bit of like the boy bag sort of chain. It is a flat kind of quilt, again, like the other tote bag, but it does have the CC turn lock on it. So it kind of looks a little bit more of a classic style, but it's not. It's definitely a seasonal flat bag. The chain looks like it has some like unique linking here and there through it, so it does. I do like the look of the chain based on what I can see in the images. And then there is some other seasonal flat bags, which I'll just put some pictures up on the screen. Nothing really that gets my fancy with those. There is some boy bags that they're going to have this season. Looks like there's going to be a graphite kind of grey one with what appears to be ruthenium hardware. And then there appears to be a white caviar boy bag with like the chain detailing around it. And also a classic flap in what appears to be most definitely a fabric style. Perhaps maybe has some sequins on it because I'm seeing a bit of glistening happening in this photo. Also a classic flap in a shearling with like a tartan design. That looks really cool. I like that. Those tartan lines, I'm just not sure really do the bag any favors in that color scheme. The same picture, because we're still on that picture anyway, it looks like, again, there's a classic flap in the fabric, just like that other coral one, but in a black and a gray, and it does seem like it's going to have sequins on it. And the Chanel 19 in tweed in what looks like it's going to be a dark gray. Scrolling along to make sure I can capture if there's any other Chanel 19s. Okay, so I see that there's an image here with another Chanel 19 that appears to be in grey. In that same picture, there is some classic flaps. So it looks like there's a very dark grey classic flap. That's interesting to see as to whether that's going actually going to be like the 20C grey, and if they're going to do that kind of grey in the other classic flap sizes. There is classic flaps in sequin finishes. It looks like one has sequin like clover on it, and then some CCs in sequin as well. That looks pretty cool. I quite like that design. Kind of a patchwork sort of classic flap. But the patchwork says Chanel on it, kind of in like magazine letter patchwork. Also appears to be I think a large flap in black patent, and it's in a so black. I actually like the look of a patent so black as opposed to like so black on like a caviar or something. I just find that a bit but on patent, I think it's a little bit more special in my opinion. I think it's that shine that you get with patent leather and that complement to the so black hardware. Same page, there's a burgundy looking classic flap on there. They did have a burgundy in 21A. And there's a business affinity, I think that's what it's called, a business affinity backpack on that same page as well in white. So some other seasonal flaps. There's a silver metallic one, which kind of appears to have that combo hardware like the Chanel 19. Then there's another seasonal flap with a very, very chunky sort of chain. So there's definitely a theme going on here. They got some really chunky chains starting to happen with Chanel seasonal pieces. There's also a striped looking seasonal bag, like a pink and grey sort of striped bag. I'm not into that at all. But some of those seasonal bags on there, like I'd be curious to see how they actually look. I am digging those chunky chains. I think that's really cool. And in the bottom corner appears to be a Chanel 19 bag in kind of like a diamond design. It's definitely a fabric bag. I can see that when I zoom in. I'm definitely not into. I don't think that's complimentary. I mean, if you like it, that's fine. It just gives me a bit of 4th of July sort of vibes. So I'm going to stay on with the seasonal pieces. So it looks like they're coming back with the Cocoa Crush square mini flap. With the gold Cocoa Crush ball. It also appears as though they're going to be doing the rectangular Cocoa Crush again with the gold ball. It does seem as though on this page they do have a mini square in pale pink. So that's the only color that I kind of seen on there that I would potentially consider to like waitlist for if I could, if Australia gets it obviously, because sometimes these colors do not go to every single country. Sometimes they are regional based. And also in the top left, it appears as though they're going to come back with a small classic flap in gray. Looks like the same kind of gray that came in 21A, but that seems as though that's going to be in silver hardware as well, which if it is, that's good, because there are people that are like die hard only for silver hardware and only want silver hardware. So I think it's good that they are having those options there. So again, there is some seasonal flaps on that page. Like there's like a messenger satchel style bag with a chunky boy-like chain and some buckles either side of it. It reminds me a bit of like a work bag, but I'm not liking it. Yeah, I'm not into that. And then there's also a trendy, like, what do you call it? It's not a wok, but it's not the top handle trendy, if you know what I mean. It seems as though there's probably a velvet looking seasonal flap, kind of somewhat reminiscent to a square classic flap, but it's kind of not. The dimensions don't look the same. So moving along to some more pieces that are pretty much classic now. So the trendy is a classic bag. So they have a trendy in khaki, which looks like it could be light gold hardware or silver hardware. I'm not sure. I feel like it is a light gold hardware. And then there's a very dark gray trendy on that same page. Next to it is a seasonal flap, and then below it is another like seasonal shearling bag with like that tartan sort of print in a white and black. Now that's better. I actually prefer the white and black than I did the pink and black. And then they've got some vanities just below. So I'm starting to see this vanity bag, the circular, well, not really circular. It's like a curved kind of box vanity. I'm seeing that reoccurring a lot each season, like it was in Métier d'Art and it was in spring summer. But it does look as though this is going to be in lambskin. The more box style one rather than the curved one, it looks like it might be in caviar. Both of those are in a burgundy color. And then we have some seasonal bucket bags. Now bucket bags are pretty cool. I like a good bucket bag. Seems as though they're coming back with a velvet bucket bag with the nice chain detailing and the CC as the actual drawstick, like the size pincher of the drawstring. Then they've got a calfskin one, or maybe a patent. I think they'd probably go calfskin, surely. Below that, there's the striped one. And then up on the left, there's kind of like a business affinity style bucket bag in gray. And then there's some other bucket bags on that screen, one in green and one in black in different versions. And at the very bottom, it looks like they have a one of those long clutches, which I have seen them do before. Last of the bags, it looks like they're going to come back again with the bowling shape bag that they had in Métier d'Art, but it's going to be in leather, whereas I think in Métier d'Art they only had it in velvet and the denim. So they appear to be coming back with the business affinity in like a rose confetti pink, and then also in the khaki. There's also some seasonal kind of bags on that page as well. And there's a trendy, from what looks like it's a trendy, but with very large kind of quilts on it. And there seems to be like there's a kind of like a tote bag like the other one that I was looking at before, but this is a bit smaller and more like a bowling bag sort of shape. Okay, I think that's about it in terms of actual bags. Now let's move on to the small leather goods. So small leather goods, we'll start off with kind of like, I guess, woks. So for the woks, they have a burgundy caviar, black caviar, then they have the Chanel 19 wok, classic anyway, and then they have a trendy wok. Looks like they're doing a lambskin wok with a camellia strap to it. So it's going to have the classic Chanel chain strap to it, but at the very top where it would sit on your shoulder, it has some camellia detailing on the leather, like, what do you call it, like shoulder pad. So it's going to have a camellia detailed shoulder pad. So that's very interesting. I think that potentially could be quite nice for a collector who also likes woks as well. Or if you're just wanting a nice kind of seasonal piece, but it's still classic. Doing a Cocoa Crush in a wok as well. Okay, so some more items that kind of fall into that SLG accessory category. In the bottom row there, it looks like they have some strassed out like small bags. Like, I'm pretty sure they're probably going to fall into that accessory category for SLGs, just because of where they are placed like in the picture, but they look pretty cool. So it looks like a strassed out bucket bag, a strassed out maybe clutch on chain sort of thing, and then a strassed clutch, which looks like it's going to have a chain as well, but it's like a long east-west kind of clutch. So of that, they have a small little clutch on chain shoulder pad, another little bucket bag, another little like vanity kind of buckety thing, whatever you call it. Oh, this is like a crescent moon sort of wok. They did one of those a very, very long time ago. So it looks like they have that in a khaki, and it's got the turn lock on it. That is, I actually don't mind that in terms of like them bringing back that crescent shape, but now they've actually got the turn lock and the quilted design. I feel like that makes it a little bit more classic. Top left, it appears as though they're coming back with a Cocoa Crush rectangular vanity in grey, and that is very cool. I like that. I think that is quite nice. I wouldn't go for it just because I have the grey mini flap from 21A, but I think if you missed out on anything grey from Métier d'Art, this might be a good opportunity to try and snag a grey piece from the Fall Winter Act 1. Okay, staying on with Cocoa Crush items. So they have what appears to be like a zippy wallet, but it's going to have a chain, and the chain is going to say Cocoa on it, running vertically down the chain, and then the chain will also have a CC. And then there's a small card holder, clutch on chain, whatever you want to call it, with the Cocoa Crush ball in burgundy. Again, another kind of cylinder vanity looking bag thing. A mini trendy wok, I think, which they have done before. Next to that is another clutch, clutch on chain sort of thing, bigger quilts like the Chanel 19 style, but it's like a hard case sort of, you know what I'm talking about? Like, cause like it looks like a massive AirPods case. I don't know how to describe it, but they have done something like that before. Bottom row, it seems as though they're doing a round clutch on chain, and with that chain with the Cocoa spelled out on it and the CC in that chain, and it appears as though there's a coin purse similar to that crescent moon sort of wok bag. Moving on to card holders. So it appears as though they're going to do like those flat wallets and card holders in khaki, burgundy, the rose confetti kind of color, and then they're going to have some little card holders on chain as well. I can see a pink one there, and then over to the right it appears as though they're going to have some card holders with that Cocoa chain. And also a grey one with the Cocoa chain, but more in like that flap style. It's a very unique looking like camellia bag. It looks like a round sort of one, but in the shape of like, it's got like a camellia design on it in sort of like a rose gold. That's quite cool looking. I mean, it's not going to fit a phone, so I probably wouldn't buy it, but I think that that's pretty cool in terms of like collector piece. So we're almost at the end of the SLGs. So they also have some O cases, of course. They have an O case which looks like it's going to be in a sequin one, and it's in the Chanel 19 style, but it's on sequins. A Chanel 19 sort of flap clutch sort of thing. O case with the camellia design on the front of the O case, and then another O case with that patchwork sort of Chanel magazine cutout look to it. It looks like they're going to have some phone cases on chains, and it looks like that might actually be like a flap wallet style phone holder sort of thing. Some AirPod holders on a belt. That's what they look like to me, like, or maybe card holders on belts. Kind of, yeah, card holders on belts perhaps. So after I filmed this video, I found out a few more things. So it looks as though for 21B, not only are they going to have the green, looks like there's going to be a pink, a burgundy, a red shade, and obviously a white and a black. It seems as though they're going to have these other colors as well, which is a dark pink. The color code on that is ND357, like a rosy tea kind of color, versus the beige from 21A. So the beige from 21A does have like a pinky undertone to it, but this 21B, to me, it does seem like it's more of a rosy tea kind of beige pink shade. So it's definitely more on that pink side, but still somewhat a neutral. Pearl Crush, the Pearl Crush mini flap in the square and the rectangle. They look like they might be doing a dark pink in those. It seems as though they're doing the dark pink in the square vanity as well. The other thing that I wanted to add is that it appears as though they are going to be doing a small classic flap in black lambskin with rose gold hardware. So this rose gold does look like it's going to be more of a true bright rose gold than the 21A reissue rose gold that they used. So it doesn't look like it's the same hardware. It does seem like it's more of a true rose gold. The only downfall is that it's only being offered in a black lambskin. It doesn't seem as though they're going to do caviar, and it looks as though they're not doing any other colors. So it seems as though it'll just be black. And that is it. So that is what appears to be coming for Fall Winter Act 1. Let me know if there was anything there that took your fancy. Do you like any of the colors? Are you into that khaki green? Are you happy that the gray seems to still be hanging around? I think that that's good, because at least it gives people the opportunity to potentially get a gray bag if they missed out, because I know Chanel doesn't do gray all that often. But yeah, that is it. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you're thinking of getting. Let me know your thoughts. And thank you very much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next one.